Hello, hello, hello. I am on my desk here, and these are all unfinished products. I am going to finish this one today, my disco ball holder, my disco ball stand. So I'm putting this into my tablet stand, and then I can put this here, and you can watch me paint. This table here is becoming a little bit cramped. It's another in vitro meat plant here. That's the name for my artwork. I have a whole series of these things. This one is almost finished as well. So this got a little bit. I gotta redo the red part of it. So that's what I have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna do this real quick. And then this one will be finished, and I will add this to my collection down there by the stairs. This is the lawn for these things, so it's gonna go like this. They're gonna be standing like this on this lawn. And this could be made into into some kind of kid toys for mass marketing, actually, from the original, like made into casts, and then made these things made out of plastic for kids to play with. It's like modern art toy. That would be awesome. Here's another one. This one's almost finished too. Okay, I guess I'll finish these up today. So I'm gonna put this here. This over here. I'll put this here. This. So yeah, limited space here. That's the problem. So I'm going to finish this up with cotton swabs. This is a real nice red. This is a real deep, saturated blood red. Very, very nice. And I mix all of my pastels from this here. All of my pink pastels come from this and white. And also from a very pale blue that I have. So that will make this into more of a purplish color. Purplish pastel, different types of pinks, which I love. Very nice. It's real hard. It's real hard to stay strong with the candy, and all of this extremely difficult when that kind of stuff is in the house. So I relapsed again today. This is so awful. I ate some Lindt chocolate. This is so terrible. My goodness. Oh my goodness, it's so addictive. I don't know if I will ever make it to become completely free from all of this, from all of the candy stuff. It's awful difficult. So that's why also I don't blame anyone if you have a food addiction. It's very, very difficult. But we have to always keep in mind, first of all, the suffering, that goes into the production of any kind of animal products. Even if there's only a little bit of milk powder or whatever in it, it still comes from exploitation. Also, the cocoa production contains a lot of suffering. So that's why I would really like to stay away from it. Carob is much better. Carob is healthier and it doesn't come from such terrible exploitation. And whatever I say, in chat rooms or in my videos, it's an invitation to live a healthier and friendlier and kinder life. It's not some kind of dictation. It's a form of activism to offer these thoughts to other people. What other people do with it is their business. I'm not forcing myself or anything. But even if I offered, it always gets a lot of people very mad because they are used to certain ways of living. And the worst thing is when religion gets involved with food. That's when things get really, really tricky. Because then people think they have to eat this or this type of food and not another, and it has to be done exactly in this way. And the worst thing is when slaughter is involved. And you know how that goes, particularly in Islam, when they bleed animals to death in the halal slaughter. People need to know this. This is unethical. That's not okay. And I will say something because I care. And I want to invite people to care as well. I can't force them to, of course. We can't be militant about things, because if we are militant, even if we're just angry, even if we're just annoyed, or if we might say something in a harsh way or something, that alone already will push someone away and will not make people listen. I can only get someone to listen if I come from a very positive, peaceful mindset. Okay, I learned that the hard way myself many times. Because I can't always be peaceful and happy, particularly not when it comes to suffering. When I see suffering, that makes me very upset. But I know that I can't get someone to listen if I am upset. Because if I am upset, then the egos think that I am criticizing them. And when they feel criticized, they feel like their entire childhood trauma comes up. Not being good enough for the parents. This is a childhood trauma that is collective, that we all share with one another. We've all been through this. When our parents don't feel us, we feel like we are not good enough. And it becomes an act out later on in life to always want to be good enough, to always want to be excelling in everything, want to be this or that, want to be super feminine or super masculine or super successful or super this or super that. And that is bypassing life. Living happy means being completely empowered. And that means not worrying about what other people or society thinks. Because that's what most people base their entire lives on. What people think of them. My parents too. Almost all parents, almost all people. It's like mental slavery. That's what that is. What do other people think? It's an enslavement. It's not good at all. It takes all the joy and the happiness out of our lives if we have to constantly think about what other people want, or like, for example, as an artist, if I constantly thought about, would this be accepted by society, would this paint stroke be accepted by a gallerist, then I would completely bypass my art. So I have to listen to my art and not to some potential gallerist, even if I never find a gallerist. It'd be nice to find a gallerist, but I don't make that that's not something that runs my life. I mean, it does feel bad when other people say, "Oh, you suck," or "Oh, this is weird," or whatever. Yeah, I don't feel like I have any friends, when that happens. It happens a lot. But I can't I can't let that run my life. I have to, what runs my life is love and art. And that's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And it's not just a girly thing. This stands for itself. Also, being a clown, being free, being bird free. That's not a girly thing. That's completely universal. Actually, I love men who are free, who can wear pink clothes, and that are not afraid of being shamed and bullied by people. I mean, anyone who even goes in this direction of shaming someone else, it's like they've already debunked themselves out. They have eliminated themselves out of the whole thing. Anyone who bullies someone else for their orientation or whatever, or assuming that someone is a different orientation. or assuming, like a lot of men that will bully me and try to shame me for not being girly, and they'll call me he, and they call me sir, and they call me all kinds of things because they think that's gonna hurt me real bad, right? Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but I can't let that run my life, you know. I am who I am. I am what I am. I am girly, I'm a clown, I am an artist, I am individual, I am not dependent on society standards, and if I come across as ungirly, that so be it. You know, I cannot worry about this. Cannot worry about this. You can't worry about this, what other people think. I mean, there are all kinds of people in this world that will take terrible offense to anything that is slightly different from their doctrine they think they need to live out, their enslavement. So when they see someone that is living slightly differently, then it's like an affront to them. It's like a threat to their way of thinking, to their religion. And they get very violently angry. And that's living in total mental enslavement. It's not good. I wished I could help people, set you all free. This is my dream. Because you're all precious. You know, your bodies and brain cells, and that's innocent. Even the ego means well, but the ego, you know, based on fear, causes so much suffering. It causes so much enslavement. It causes dictatorship because you give in to a dictator. You know, you go against Adolf Hitler, you don't realize you're already catering to another dictator. There's always an Adolf Hitler on the way. It's always fascism. So to dress and look like Kim Kardashian is fascism. Yeah, if you tell me that I should look like Kim Kardashian, and if I don't look like Kim Kardashian, I am a dork, or I will be called man, or I will be called tranny, or clown, or whatever, you know. I won't be regarded as a woman. That's fascism. Then you are mentally enslaved if you do this, if you cater to that. The corporate agenda wants you to do that because they make money on it. They don't care how much suffering it causes. They just want their profit maximization. Okay? So my message is, if you don't want to support the corporate agenda anymore, then don't give in to this. Don't give in to the shaming and the fascism, whatever side it comes from. Fascism is completely free from skin color or ethnicity or whatever, or any kind of belief. Fascism comes in any kind of form that you can possibly imagine. It's very good what Jonathan Mises said, that we all have to pay attention to this. Yeah. We can love our own artwork, we can love our own style or our own clothes or whatever makes us happy, yeah. But we cannot make that into a culture dictation, because then it becomes fascism again. I cannot tell people, if you paint differently than I do, then you are whatever, then you're out of style. I can't do that because then I would be fascist. Yeah. You paint the way you want to paint, the way it feels good to you. Yeah, I'm not gonna laugh about that. Why should I? If you really like to paint, let's say you like to paint landscapes instead. This is really what you love to do. Why should why should I say, oh, this is not what modern or whatever? That'd be fascistic of me to say that. No, I'll be supporting you in this. Whatever you do, whatever you want to do. You know. But if you paint landscapes because you are afraid to paint modern art, then that's a different situation. You can still paint landscapes then, and I support you with it. But only you can find out whether you painting landscapes comes out of fear of really freeing yourself. So that doesn't mean I'm debunking landscape painting. That just means that some people might only paint landscapes. I've seen these people with my own eyes. I've talked to them. I know what's going on. And a lot of those people are terrified of modern art. They are terrified of opening themselves up to this, to the other dimensions, and to total freedom of mind. They're terrified of it. And those are also the people who are very religious often. And my message to them is free yourselves, There's nothing to be afraid of, to discover who you really are underneath all of these indoctrinizations, underneath the hiding behind that what you have always known, the comfort zone. Or the iron castle of religious armor and all of this that keeps you shackled. Only you know, and you will find out if you paint landscapes. This is just an example out of many. If you paint landscapes and you really enjoy it, that's good. I support you 100% with it. So whatever you want to do, I support you with it. And only you know whether that what you do comes from a fear, comes out of a fear, being whipped internally, whether it is fear of hell, religion, indoctrination, or whether it is, fear of looking girly if it's a man, or if it's a woman or girl, fear of looking not girly, or fear of not getting a boyfriend, or this or that, whatever. Don't do things out of fear. Don't do things out of pleasing someone or pleasing society, or or letting anything or anyone force you into something, into a lifestyle that is not natural to you, that doesn't feel right. You need to listen to your inner instincts. The inner instinct is the truth. That tells us the truth. This is a Pero coffee container. have many of those. I have many, 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 many in Germany and many here. I've given many away to other people. My parents have many of those. That's really nice. It is wonderful to make art. Absolutely wonderful. Art is love. Art is freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of mind. That's a wonderful thing, freedom of mind. Wonderful, wonderful. It leads to love and peace in the world. And don't be afraid to do it, to do this. Don't be afraid that this could make you feel whatever, girly or whatever, different. Don't be afraid. Enjoy this, you know. This is pure luxury. Enjoy this. Everyone can do it. It doesn't matter. You don't need much money for it. I use, as you can see, I use packaging materials and I use paint from the hardware store. I like high gloss. And if you get red, blue, and yellow and white, you can mix any color you want out of these. Right? Those are the base colors. You can even mix a black or some kind of really murky dark anthracite color or something if you mix all of them together. So I don't use black because it is depressing and dark, so I don't use very dark colors. I use lighter shades because they are delicious. They are very sensual and fruity and lovely and fun. I just love colors. And I love pastels. Just I'm totally in love with pastels like these colors. Yeah, just love it. I love gray too. I love any kind of color, any kind of pastel. So black is it's just too much of a contrast, literally, you know, it's like it's kind of negative and it has like a death, it's a death color, like a coffin. So I don't use black. I wish everything was just color. All the industrial design, everything just color, different colors. That'd be nice. It's happy. Yeah, it's like a colorful lawn with flowers on it. That's what I love. When I was a child, I painted with black too. Because when I was a child, I painted the things that troubled me. I painted out of my guts. Kind of like the way Jonathan Mies paints. Out of my guts. So later on that shifted because then I began painting that what I want to see in the world. Happiness and womb-like existence. Being in the womb of, you know, where everything is safe and circulated and happy. Someone using some kind of heavy garden tool now. It's funny how most people seem to be using some kind of gasoline operated garden tool. It's strange, the strangest thing. I guess they're so influenced by the oil industry when you can buy garden tools that are electric. Some of them are solar powered, that's even better. And they don't make those kind of noises. No, it's kind of like, it reminds me also a little bit of these Harley Davidson shopper kind of guys. Like, the louder it is, the more masculine it appears. But it's just bullshit. That's all it is. It's total bullshit. I personally, I do not find a man attractive who has to have garden tools that make those sounds, or chopper motorcycles, or Harley Davidson. Just the other day saw those real loud Harley Davidson pass by our van on the freeway. And it's just so ridiculous. It's so incredibly ridiculous to live like this. And it's just for an idea again, you know. They live like this for an idea, and the idea is that their dad said man up or something. That's an idea. And my message is free yourselves from all of this, okay? From all of these ideas and indoctrinations and images, self-images. So guys, take care. Bye-bye.